Morning students, welcome to the lecture of Python programming, that is unit 2. In the last class we have seen the control statements, the decision control statements, the various decision control statements and their syntaxes. So in this video I like to give you so many examples related to these control statements. Let us see the examples one by one. Start with the first control statement, that is if. So let us do the example programs related to if programming. Okay. So where we have to go? We have to go for the Python IDLE. So that is, let us move to the Python. Yes. So this is a Python shell where we are doing the Python programs, isn't it? So let us do some examples related to if statement. Okay. So what is the keyword used for if? The keyword used for if is if. Within the brackets we have to specify some condition. Let us take the condition 10 less than 100. Enter. So if you enter the syntax with a colon, then it will take the indentation value. So here you want to print whatever the thing that we want to print. So print. So we know, yes, 10 is less than 100. So we are here in the statement we are specifying 10 is less than 100. Enter. So it is over, students. So if 10 less than 100 colon, yes, it is true. So print 10 is less than 100. So what is the answer for this statement? Yes, the condition is true. So that is printed as 10 is less than 100. Okay. Let us take it with some more example. Okay. Let us move on to the file menu. Take a new file. Let us write a program regarding the price and quality of an item. We will check the discount of that particular item. Okay. So let us take an input, that is price, that is equal to, the price is of integer type, so int. So to take the input from the file, we have to take input function. So input, enter the price. Next, take the quality, that is quantity, that is QTY, that is equal to int. It is also of integer type, input, enter quantity. Enter quantity. Yes, we have taken two inputs here. One is price, second one is quantity. Then amount. Amount is equal to, how amount is calculated? Amount is equal to price star quantity. So what is the quantity that you have purchased? Yes. Then we are checking whether the amount is greater than 1000. Means for 1000 rupees you are giving discount. Okay. So what we have missed here? Colon. If you put here colon, it automatically gives the indentation. Then what you are printing? If it is greater than 1000, the purchase value is greater than 1000, you will get 10% discount. So 10% discount is applicable on the particular item. Okay. So you have to calculate the discount here. So this is equal to amount star 10 divided by 100. Yes, you are calculated the discount here. So you are giving 10% discount. So what is the amount now? Amount is equal to amount minus discount, that is this. So there else the if statement is over. What we have to print? We have to print the amount payable. So print amount payable. So that is AMT. Is that clear? So how you save this file? File, save. So I like to save this file in my folder. So I'll take it as a desktop. I have created some folder. So we will create a folder here. Make the folder as Python programs. Okay, save this file here. So it is an if related program. So calculation of discount. So dis.py. Yes. So let us run this program. Run module. So enter the price. We have to enter the price what we want. Okay. So my price of an item is 100. So I have purchased 20 items. So yes, the 10% discount is applicable and it is calculated and it is given as 1800. Is that clear, students? So in this way the if statement will work. Okay. Then we'll move on to the second statement, that is if else statement. So file, new file. Let us delete this existing file. Let us give to the second file, that is if. Let us take the file if 10 is greater than 100. What you are doing? You are printing, just you are printing. So print. So observe carefully each and every statement here. Okay, how I am giving the colon, how the indentation is taking over here. Okay, so 10 is greater than 100. If it is true, if the value is true. If it is false, what we have to print? We have to print 10 is less than 100. Okay, 10 is less than 100. Is that clear, students? Let us save this file. We are saving this file with in the same folder. So okay, so I like to give this file as less dot py. Okay, let us run this program. Run module. Yes, 10 is less than 100 because the if statement is true. 10 is greater than 100. Is the 10 greater than 100 or less than 100? No, it is not greater than 100. It is less than 100. So it will comes to the else part and it will print else block of statements. Is that clear, students? Okay, then let us move to the next one, that is if, elif and else statement. The next statement that we have seen in our past lecture, that is if, elif and else statement. Let us take the value. Let us take suppose x is equal to 10. Okay, I am checking whether the x value is equal to 1 or 2 or 3 or equal to 2. Okay, if x equal to 1, I like to print x is 1. Okay. If it is not equal to 1, then what we have to do? If else if x equal to 5, I will check whether x is 5 or not. Print x is 5. Elif I am checking x equal to 10. Print x is 10. Or else it is not equal to 1, it is not equal to 5, it is not equal to 10. What we do? Else print x is something else. Okay, so in this way the else if statement will work. Else if statement will work. Here we use for else if elif. Okay, so file, save the file in the same Python program folder. So I like to save this one equal dot py. Okay, so run module. So we get x is 10. Yes, x is 10. That's why it is printed as x is 10. Done? Done, students? So we have completed the examples, that is if else and else if. Okay, let us do an example related to your loops now. Okay, so the next example is regarding loops. So coming to the iterative control statements, under iterative control statements we are having while loop and for loop, isn't it? Let us do an example with the while loop. Okay, so let us take a number. Let us take a number, num is equal to 0. Take a count that is equal to 0, then take some other value, that is sum is equal to 0. What we are trying to do is enter any number. Enter any number. We will take any number. If you want to exit from the loop, we have to enter -1, or else we will enter the numbers. Okay. What are the numbers that we give? It will calculate the count of the numbers and it will print the cumulative sum of that number. Okay, let us do this with while loop. While num greater than 0, because your exiting condition is -1. If you want to exit from the loop, you have to give the negative value, or else it will take any positive value. Okay, so num is equal to, so it is an integer type, so int input of enter any number. Enter any number. If you print -1 to exit. If you want to exit from the loop, you have to take -1. Is that clear, students? Then what you are doing? If the number is greater than 0, the number is greater than or equal to 0, what you do? We have to count the number. So count is equal to count plus 1. Then what we have to do? There is no question of semicolon. Then what we have to do? You have to calculate the cumulative sum. So sum is equal to sum plus num. Sum plus num. So sum and count are calculated. Come out of the if loop, come out of the while loop and calculate the average count of those numbers. So average is equal to sum by count. Average is equal to sum by count. If you use a single division here, we will get floating point number. If you want to get a integer dividend, you have to give double, that is floor division. Okay. Then print numbers input. How many numbers that you have given as input, that is there in the count value, isn't it? Then what is the average sum of those values? That is given in the average value. Is that clear, students, the program? So here you are calculating the cumulative sum and its average. Okay. So file. So here whenever the loop come out, so out of the loop, the loop will be come out of when we entered -1. Okay. Let us see with by running this program. Save cum dot py. Okay. Let us run this program. Run module. Yes. Enter any number. If you want to exit, you have to give -1. Let us give the number 2. Yes. It again asks for the number 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to exit. So -1. So what is the input of numbers that I have given? I have given 5 numbers. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. What is the average calculated value of that number? Is 4. So in this way the while loop works. Is that clear, students? Shall I move to the next one, that is for loop? Shall we see the for loop? Yes. Let us see for loop. So we will take values. We will calculate the same thing, that is average of numbers. Okay. Over a loop. file, new file. So let us close this one. File, new file. Let us take sum is equal to 0. The same example. Numbers. Let us take the numbers in the form of list. I am taking the numbers in the form of list. 10, 20, 30, 40. So let us end. We will take only 4 numbers. Then for num, we have to give the numbers and this numbers to this list. What you are printing, you want to print the number. Print, you want to print each and every number. Okay, in the same line. So I am using the end here. Okay, then you have to calculate the sum of each number. So sum is equal to sum plus num. Done? Then what you want to calculate? You want to calculate the average. So average is equal to sum. So floral division. So you need the count of those numbers. How will you get the count of those numbers? So it is a list, so you can easily get through length function. So len of numbers. Done? Then print. So average value. Okay. So what is the average value of that number? So let us have it /n. Average is given as AVG. Done? Let us run this program. So again here you are also calculating the cumulative sum and their average. Okay. So I have taken cum1.py. Cum1.py. Okay. Run module. So what is the values that are taken? 10, 20, 30, 40. So what is the average of the values we get? We get the average as 25. Is that clear, students? So that is the use of for loop. Okay. Meanwhile, we will do so many programs. I will give assignment links for you. You will do more and more programs. Okay. Just now I am saying that how you execute a program through a Python IDE by using all those things. Okay. Is that clear, students? Shall I move to the next program? Yes. Let us do else loop. We are using else in loop, isn't it? I have shown you the example else in loops. Okay. So let us do this with an example. File. Let us close this. Let us close the previous file. Okay. So let us take a for loop for x in range. We are taking a range value. For example, 5. What is 5 here? If you have taken 5 here, it will take from 0 to 5. Isn't it? As I already told you in the previous lecture. Okay. Then what I want printing? I am printing the iteration. So print iteration number. I want to print the iteration number. Okay. So I can print the iteration number by using a format function. Okay. So in for loop. Okay. So this can be printed by using format function. So dot format. Is it clear? We have seen this syntax. Yes, dot format of x plus 1. So for the first iteration it will print a 0, then it move on to the next format. Okay. So we will see how many iterations it will take. Okay. Then if it is not in the range, what we do? Else we want to print. Else we will print else block of statements. Else block of statements. Done? So come out of the loop. To come out of the loop, print it is out of loop. Done? So let us save this file and run this file. Save. So you are using a for else statement. So for else dot py. Run module. So it is an invalid syntax where we have done a wrong thing. So here, well, whenever you are using dot here or else any function, we may not use the comma. So there is no need of using the comma. Okay. When you are using period, there is no need of using comma. Run module. So iteration 1 in for loop, 2 in for loop, because we are having 5. So it will print all the 5 loops and it will give the else block of statements and out of loop. Okay. So, else block is if you need to print any message over a loop, we generally use this else block. Is that clear, students? Yes. Let us move on to the next one, that is break statement. Shall we see the break statement? Yes. File, new file. So, what is the use of break statement? Break is used to come out of the loop, isn't it? So, let us do it in the form of an example. I have already shown you an example in my previous lecture. Let us do a small example. Num is equal to 0. Let us take a num value. Let us take while num is less than 5. If number is less than 5, what we have to do? We have to increment the value of num. Okay. Then print the num value, that is num is equal to, so I am printing through format function itself to be more familiar with the format option. Okay. If num is equal to 3, I want to come out of the loop. So that way I have taken this one as num is equal to 3. What I am saying, I want to come out of the loop. Break. When coming out of the loop, I am printing out of the loop. Is that clear? So, file, save with the name br.py. Done? So, run module. So, let us see. Number is 1. So, initially number is 2. When 3 is encountered, what happened? It is coming out of the loop. It comes out of the loop and it is not at all continuing the program for the next iteration. Okay. So, to break the loop, we generally use break statement. Is that clear, students? To break the loop, we generally use break statement. Is it okay? Shall I move to the next example? Yes. So, what is the next one? Next one is continue keyword. Let us do the continue keyword. Okay. So, can we change the thing that is there in this program itself? Yes, we can change. Okay, how you can change? So, I am just taking this printf statement and I want to print this statement here. Okay. So, I want to place, instead of break, I want to place continue. What will happen? The continue will break the specific statement and it will continue over next statement. It will not print the particular statement and it will continue over the loop and it ends all other iterations. Okay. It will continue. It will have some truncation at that point and it will continue the remaining loop. Okay. So, file, save as con.py. So, let us see this. So, reserved keyword, it is a reserved keyword, it is saying that we may not use the reserved keyword, con1.py. Okay. So, run module. So, if you see this 1, 2, 3 is not printed because if it is equal to 3, you are continuing the loop. So, it is not printed. Next, 4 and 5 will be continued. So, in this way, the continue statement will work. Okay. Let us see what is the leftover thing that we have seen in the decision control statements, that is a pass statement. Okay. So, let us do an example for pass statement. Close the previous screen. Let us do the example for pass statement. For num in range, let us take the range from 1 to 6. Okay, colon, don't ever forgot to put a colon here. If num equal to 3, if num is equal to 3, I am passing the statement. Okay, what does the pass statement do? It will not do anything. Okay, it will not do anything. Means you don't like to print 3. That's why I have given it in a pass statement. So, print num is I am using always the format statement because you must be familiar with the format function also. Format now. Okay. So let us execute this one. Okay. So it is about pass. So save it as pas.py. Okay. Let us run this. Run module. So what happened? 1, 2, 4, 5 is printed. What about 3? So 3 is here, isn't it? So what is the use of pass here? Whenever you are using pass, the Python interpreter will execute the statement. It just like your comment section, but whereas comments is ignored by the Python interpreter, whereas pass statement is executed by the Python interpreter. Is that clear, students? Python programming. So what we have seen? We have seen what are the things that we have seen in this lecture? We have seen the example programs related to your decision control statements. Is that clear? Thank you so much for listening. Let us do some other programs in our next lecture regarding strings. Okay? Thank you.